Hi, I'm Stephen Malozeri. Weaponized poverty is a growing problem in Nigeria and on the African continent, and I'm here to tackle it. This episode is an introduction to a short series on weaponized poverty in Nigeria. In subsequent episodes, we will examine 10 instruments of weaponized poverty, which are slave wages, elitism and classism, exclusion, the government, the people, money, gentrification, distractions, Stockholm syndrome, and finally, socioeconomic stagnation. I recognize that while some families struggle to earn 50,000 naira monthly, an equivalent of $30 in 2025, there are other families that earn $1 million naira daily. If you live in Nigeria and none of this is your reality, then congratulations. You've won in life. For those of us that are highly underrepresented, this is our story. Now, if you're from the 80s or 90s, you probably remember a period of generosity where Nigerian guests gifted you money for being a hospitable host. If they didn't give you directly, they probably gifted your kids on their way out. Do you remember that rich chief in your community to whom your parents took you for employment opportunities? Do you remember him giving you money during your departure? He probably also made you a promise of future apprenticeship opportunities. In the 90s, there was an abundance of festivities among the working class. This is often as a result of the large disposable incomes that families enjoyed. This may also be why there was always a reason to celebrate. Cocoa farmers in villages could afford to marry multiple wives and have a large family to help with their farm work. Their contemporaries in the cities also lived big because of the influx of large multinational corporations who paid a living wage. Not the slave wages that are earned today, or the flat 100,000 naira salary curse, but we'll get to that later. This was a period of socio-economic prosperity in Nigeria. So what changed? Nowadays, why does the average BSc graduate without political connections earn less than $5 daily? Why is the minimum wage still 35,000 naira a month? Roughly $23 monthly in 2025. In Nigeria, I assume that modern employers know that a worker cannot survive on a $23 monthly salary. So is the level of theft and corruption expected at work? Nowadays, everything has changed from what it was in the glory days. Well, maybe not everything. If you've just returned from the diaspora, chances are your local politicians from back when you left is still in power. Not only that, some government buildings probably still look the same. Your childhood pepper seller is still selling pepper. So is the kerosene seller. For the poor, there seems to be no upward mobility. Why is that? Probably because some seen and unseen hands are manipulating weapons of poverty to cause socioeconomic stagnation for the poor. Why do they do this? Because poverty is profitable. To break this down, we cannot even begin to analyze weaponized poverty without talking about the working class and their slave wages, which in this modern day is equivalent to modern slavery. Join me in fighting weaponized poverty. Get the book and watch the documentary by subscribing to the newsletter using the link below. With that said, I will see you in the next episode.